Good morning, y'all. Welcome to Pure South Pastures Farm. Today we're over on the 21-acre field. We're going to give the cows in just a few minutes about 5 acres of grass that is really poor, but that's why we're giving them such a large area. I'm down here in a part of that paddock and just checking fences right now, and this is an area that they'll have access to in a little while. But today I want to talk about on this video. I want to ask and answer the question. On a small scale, can you graze like Greg Judy does? I know a lot of us learn from Greg Judy. I love Greg Judy. I've learned so much from him. But my situation is so different than his, and maybe yours is the same. So on a smaller scale, can you graze like Greg Judy? That's what we're going to answer today. So hang out with us for a little while. Let's answer that question. Let's move some cows and just have a little bit of fun together. You can see down here in this bottom, there's a little bit of length on the grass. I'm just walking and talking, so excuse all the movement. Got some length down here, but up on these ridges, hilltops, it's pretty poor. I've said before, this is the area that really does well with Bahia and Bermuda, but it just doesn't do well cool season grasses. I don't know if there's a lack of topsoil here or what. Again, this is a new farm, so we did roll out hay over in those areas over there this winter, but we weren't over on this side, so we didn't get any of the seeding from the hay over here that we got over there. So as you can see, I mean, some of the areas are just terrible, and then some of them are not so bad. And down in the bottom by the creek, it's a lot better. They were on a paddock smaller than this one yesterday, and I was looking at them this morning, and they're doing pretty good. So they're finding forage. Again, our goal is to just not demolish the paddocks while we're there. As we're grazing through this first pass, this area is just it just doesn't have a lot to offer. But the great thing about efficient cows is we don't want to push them too hard. But the great thing about efficient cows is they find a way to make it. And so we're trying to watch not only our animal behavior, but just making sure that they're doing well as well, that they're not too limited when we get here in the mornings. And they're not. You can see their rumen is not sunken in. They're doing pretty well. Looking pretty good. They're starting to slick off. It's 261 cow right here. She's in heat, so the bulls are all bugging her. See they're looking good. Looking good. Here's the new calf, the newest calf. The South Pole, half South Pole calf. This mama right there. These calves are wondering what I'm doing. Those previously were our newest calves. They were born in late February, early March. I like their color. He's a good boy. Thankful for him. As a matter of fact, as I'm talking about grazing the way Greg Judy does, that is a Greg Judy bull. We were blessed to be able to go and get a bull from him. And so I'm very, very pro Greg Judy. I'll watch every video he puts out. We'll talk about that more in just a little bit. But this steer right here and that steer right there are going to be going to butcher soon. So not gonna be long. All right, let's move the cows. I'll let you see them move. All right, I just reeled up the line. Woo! Come on, girls. Come on. Somebody be the leader here. I would normally yell a few more times, and that kind of gets them moving, but that's never very much appreciated in the microphone on camera. Stand on this side so I can see the rumen as they go by, making sure that none of them are just too empty. Make sure we didn't limit. The thing is, if you do make a mistake, you have the opportunity to adjust. This is the oldest cow we have, and look, she's not limited. She's probably struggles to be in condition as bad or worse than any. I've got one more up here. I'll show you that she doesn't keep condition either. She's not that old. She just struggles on this farm. She'll be one we cull eventually. This girl right here always walks as close as she can to me as she walks through every time. Oh, the calf missed the gate, but it found a way across anyway. This cow struggles as well. She produces a good baby every year, but she struggles to keep body condition. She's not looking too bad today. You just see her backbone. I don't like that. Kind of ribby. So I got to get over the hill and put in a fence, keep them from, as you can see, they're just walking through because there's not a whole lot there to eat, but there is on the other side of that hill. All right, y'all. I got that fence in. Just ran one strand of poly wire. This farm, there's a couple places in the fences that I'm just not, I just don't feel good about. So I always try to reinforce. I just come on this side of it and put in one strand of poly wire to keep the cows from trying to press any kind of weak places in the fence. So, hey, what are you doing? There's nothing down here. It dead ends down there. Just you see what you're going to get right there. They're just checking it out. They've never been down here before, so it's a new farm. So anyway, this idea of grazing like Greg Judy, I think you can watch YouTube videos and feel pressured to do what somebody else is doing, and it's like anything else, but especially in this day when you can see so much of what somebody else is doing, and really, I'm not saying that Greg does this, but people are able to put just the best. They're able to put their highlight reel on social media or videos on YouTube, and you really don't see every component or every part of it. You don't see a lot of the failures that they have because that's just not the stuff we want to show, right? So I think understanding context is huge, and understanding that you have to do what fits you. So can you graze like Greg Judy does on a small scale? Let's say if you have 50 acres or if you have 100 acres or less, can you graze, or 200 acres, whatever? Can you graze like Greg Judy? I would say absolutely yes, you can, because there are timeless principles, and there are things that will work in no matter what context you're in. If you're in the West or if you are in the East, I'm not saying that you can do it exactly like Greg Judy does, but you can take some of those principles and put them into practice where you are. So when I watch Greg Judy, the thing I think about is I don't have 16 to 1,800 acres. I don't have interns and farm hands working, farm managers working for me. So there's a lot of things that we don't have. I don't have the fescue that he has to be able to stockpile all winter. But what I do have is the ability to move cattle on a regular basis. We move every day here, and that's just a choice that we've made and something that is important to us. You may not be able to do that, so don't watch my videos and feel like you have to do what I do or you have to do what Greg Judy does, but it's the principle of moving. Moving them gives your land rest. It moves your cows across the land. You're distributing the manure and the urine all across your farm, not just in one location. You're moving them away from the pest pressure, the fly pressure, the uh, all of the parasites. And so I'm just saying those are the principles that work. And so maybe you can only move them twice a week, or maybe you can move your cows once a week. Well, you just, in your context, you figure out the paddock size you need for that to work, and you make that happen. But it's still the principle that Greg Judy's teaching. He's teaching to move your cows, on a regular basis, so that you're moving them away from the parasite pressure, so that you're giving your land rest. So it's not just constant grazing, they're just picking and choosing the best. And so that's what happens when you just leave cows in somewhere. They're going to go and pick and choose the best, and they're going to leave the worst. Where when you begin to tighten them down, now hang on just a minute, just caveat. Right now we're in the spring, grass is growing really fast, and so we're not tightening them down really tight because we're trying to move across the farm fast, and we're trying not to let our grass get too tall. But after it begins to mature a little bit, we're going to tighten them down pretty tight. We're going to keep them in small paddocks, and that's going to put pressure, be competing. There's competition for forage, and so they're not going to be so picky about what they do eat. So some of the less desirables that they're really not, they're kind of picking through right now when they have large paddocks, they're going to be consumed later when you're putting the pressure on them. So those are the kind of things that do work in any grazing system, in any context. So if you're out west and you're in a more arid climate, you're not getting the rain we're getting here. Obviously, your context looks quite a bit different, but there are still principles that do work. Maybe you're up north, maybe you're further south than I am. So you have to make it apply to your context. But those principles that are timeless, it doesn't matter when you do it. The ones the things that they work no matter what context you're in. Those are the principles that we want to come away with, and we want to apply to our context. So don't get caught up feeling like you have to be or do or act or perform like somebody else. I work every day during the week, and so I have to come out here and do everything that I do early in the morning. A lot of times I don't even see, I'm not back on the farm until last night. I didn't get home from work until after 9 o'clock, about closer to 10. So that's just the context I'm in. It's what I have to do for now. And so just understand that, and don't feel pressure to be what somebody else is being, but you can live out those timeless principles and make your farm better as you go. So don't just settle in and do nothing. Doing something is better than doing nothing, right? And so I would just encourage you to that. I'm just talking to the small guy. I'm talking to the guy you're just getting started. Your farm is small. You're not small, but your farm is small. And you're just trying to figure out what will work and what won't. I want to encourage you and say, doing something or making some of these applications in your context will be better than just opening your fields up and letting your cows go. It's going to be better for your land. So do something, make short baby step progress, and then over time you'll see it beginning to build some momentum. So that's what we're doing here. We're small scale. We graze about 70 acres total. We own about 50, and trying to acquire some more leased land, because I think that's the most economical way to be able to expand. But until we do, we're making it fit our context. So I feel like I'm beating a dead horse now. I've said the same thing over and over again in different ways, but I hope you understand what I'm saying. And I want to encourage you, if you're not as big as somebody else, as far as land mass, amount of animals, all of that, make it fit where you're at, and you can do this. You can do it. Let's heal the land. Let's feed people. I just love this week. I had some friends come over, and they had raised some meat chickens, and they didn't have a way to process their chickens. Well, we have processing equipment, and so they brought their 10 chickens that they'd raised in their backyard for the first time ever. It's a young couple. They just got married. They have a little young daughter, and we had the awesome privilege of walking them through butchering their chickens, packaging them. They took home 50 pounds of awesome protein. And man, there's nothing better, not a better feeling than sitting down at a table and knowing that you grew that meat, whatever you're eating. Even if you garden, you understand what I'm saying. You grew it. It was raised there on your farm. You know what went into it. You know how it was cared for, and then you get to enjoy it with your family. that's really cool. So I can't wait for that young couple to experience that. Ryan and Lydia, they're awesome, and just thankful for the opportunity to be part of that the other day. So anyway, that's enough of my rambling. I hope you make today great. I hope you have a great rest of the day today. It's early this morning. Let's just let God lead us today. Let him bless all that we do. And that's what my prayer is for you, that God blesses all that you do. And if you're a small scale farmer, take baby steps. Let's move into this. You can do it. If I can do it, you can do it. And so we're gonna sometimes we're gonna stumble our way around. We're gonna fail. We're gonna make mistakes, but most mistakes aren't beyond building back. So have a great day today. You can do this. Let's do it together. We're learning to farm. That's the journey we're on. So if you enjoy this content, please take a minute and subscribe. Hit the like button. Share it with somebody else. Tell somebody else about our channel. That really, really helps. And we'll keep trying to produce content that's helpful to you and your farming journey. So let's grow together. Let's learn together. God bless you. Have a good one.